I was tested HIV and AIDS 2006. I've been on drugs for the past 19 years. How did I get HIV? We have young people in the house today. HIV is real. Unprotected sex. I just finished my secondary school. A young lady coming up, at that period of time, you want to belong to the society. That is how I got HIV. I was like, all hope is gone. Where will I start from? Who will I look up to? 19 years ago, you will know at that time how HIV was. You dare not open up to come out and say you're HIV positive. All hope was gone to me. But the help of a support group member, with a hope of somebody like me that I'm standing here, that is why I say I must speak of my status to encourage people out there. He called me and said, "Lady, what is your problem?" I say, "I'm going to die." He said, "You will not die." I say, "I want to get married. I want to go to school. I want to have kids." He said, "Do you know you can achieve all those things?" But standing here today to tell you for the past 19 years, today I've achieved all those. I got married, have 4 lovely children, 3 boys and a girl. The 2 first kids, I did not breastfeed them because that time it was given to us, it was informed that we should not breastfeed. You can imagine the stigma I've passed through. A newly wedded woman giving birth, they will tell you, I was like, When you're going out, you have to go with so many feeding bottles, water, none at your hand to prepare for your baby. But the last 2 children, I was able to breastfeed them for the all complete 1 year with the help of the antiretroviral therapy. I lost my husband 6 years ago. I want to appreciate the governor of Taraba State for the free education. You can imagine somebody like me, I'm not working, I don't work. I have 4 kids. How will I cope? But with the coming of the free education, my children are enrolled in the free education. At least that aspect has been covered for me. I want to appreciate His Excellency for the good work he is doing in Taraba State. Last 2 years during World AIDS Day, when you hold me, I was loved. I feel loved. I was like, wow. People felt that people living with HIV and AIDS cannot be whole, cannot be loved. But Your Excellency, our Mama Taraba has proved people wrong. What an honor for us to achieve this issue of knowing your HIV status, for us to achieve free generation. Your Excellency, Your Excellency, sir, we should have a lot of test kits in our facility and in our community. That will enable us to know our HIV status in time. Because as early you know it, the better for you to give birth to negative children. I was able to give birth to 4 negative children because I know my HIV status in time. If I did not know it, or there was no test kit for me to know the HIV status, I could have given birth to positive children. How will I cope without husband and 4 kids if they are HIV positive? So I appeal that at least our facility should have test kits. And the best people to talk in the community is people living with HIV and AIDS. I'm talking out of experience. Because at that moment when I was tested HIV, there is nothing doctor did not tell me, but I keep adamant. I was crying. The only person that saved me was somebody was living with HIV and AIDS that would say, look at me, I'm positive. That was what gave me that hope. So I'm pleading that let our TACA be in part with the equipment that will enable us to carry out sensitization, awareness creation in our community, to enable our members, people out there to know their HIV status.
She's getting a motherly shape once again, just like the other lady. Thank you very much, our mother. At the rate we are going, very soon HIV will be going for a test, will be very, very normal. I mean, people can actually say, can just say, no, you say, I just have HIV or something. It's not a problem. Not like the current taboo attached to it, the fear, the stigmatization, the horror of just hearing it. This is making it less deadly, less. Yeah, nation comes up to give her open message and the formal launch.
Thank you very much. This campaign is meant for every Nigerian. Every Nigerian, despite we are doing the triple elimination campaign. But I want every Nigerian, no matter the segment, you can see we have wives of service chiefs, we have also a lot of women under them. We have market women and men in the market, traditional rulers, religious leaders. But most especially, this campaign is meant for our children and youth, which you can see that the country rep for USAID was able to expatiate on why it involves you. But I'm honored to officially launch the Free to Shine campaign in Taraba State. As I conclude my 2-day working visit to the state, the Free to Shine campaign is an advocacy initiative led by the African Union, the Organization of the African First Ladies for Development, WAFLAG, and global partners. The goal of this campaign is to address the growing complacency in the response to the spread of HIV/AIDS in Africa. Nigeria being the country with the highest burden of HIV/AIDS in sub-Saharan Africa due to its large population, faces significant challenges. You heard today that Botswana is free. Botswana only has a population of 2-point-something million. But Nigeria, we have a lot of people affected because of the size of our population. And if we don't quickly address it, we will just have a lot of young people either dying early or just very weak for the legacy that is going to be bequeathed to you. So we want you to listen, very much. During my growing up years, HIV/AIDS, I could hear the music you were playing, which was Michael Jackson, We Are the World, is to raise money for HIV victims across the world. It was so bad during that time that even up till now, if I go for testing, my routine check, I still put HIV/AIDS there. Hepatitis B, I've already taken my vaccine, the shot for it. And a lot of things you have to check yourself continuously, even including all the cancers you want to do, mammogram, and a lot of things that can really affect any healthy living. So we want you, I don't know, a little bit disconnected from especially children in our children in secondary schools, and but I don't know whether they are doing that for you, and that's why all the first ladies are here, because what they are supposed to do, when I started nationally, they're supposed to go back to their states and let it trickle down, even to wives of local government chairmen. So I'm so glad that you are all here. And this particular burden we are talking about is very severe among children, youth, women, and marginalized groups. Because when you hear mother-to-child transmission, the men too are affected. When you hear our survivor story today, you will see their husbands have passed. But I don't know why, but I believe that our men are also in denial. In Zimbabwe, when we went for ICASA, I see when the First Lady was talking to the men, they were quite a lot of them in denial. So, but this involves both the women and the men. I hope we have that clear. Okay, but our campaign, Free to Shine, is, and the text in more, is mother to child that I was speaking to Professor Pate earlier. They said they are still concentrating on mother to child transmission more, not that they are not treating the people who are infected with HIV. So this, if we live very careful lives and make sure that even we are not, it's not only sexually that you transmit HIV, exchange of needles and also, sharp objects, people can get infected. To complement the Free to Shine campaign, I've also decided to advocate for the triple elimination of HIV/AIDS, syphilis, and hepatitis by 2030. This campaign will cover the 6 geopolitical zones of the nation. We launched the maiden edition campaign for the North Central in Kwara State on the 30th January 2025, and that of the Northwest zone in Kaduna in 25th February 2025, and South-South on 26th March 2025 in Delta State. Today we are flagging off the campaign in Taraba State for the Northeast zone. By the grace of God, the next zone to benefit will be the Southwest in Ondo State this month. So, and the Free to Shine campaign seeks to significantly reduce HIV infections among women of reproductive age, prevent mother-to-child transmission, which is the vertical transmission, and ensure that every child born with HIV receives the necessary treatment and support to thrive. According to the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, in 2024, there were over 100,000 children and nearly 2 million adults living with HIV/AIDS. Also, it is reported that most infants born to HIV-positive mothers are not tested within the first 2 months of birth, likely due to the fact that the mothers are not aware or they are ignorant of the consequences of their inaction. It is heartbreaking to know that just 2 years ago, 15,000 children ages 0 to 14 lost their lives to HIV-related illnesses. Each of these children was not just a statistic, but represented a future full of potential that was sadly cut short. The ongoing challenges faced by these children emphasize the urgent need for sustained action to improve prevention strategies, enhance diagnosis, and expand access to treatment. In Nigeria, hepatitis and syphilis are major public health concerns. Experts alike that hepatitis, especially hepatitis B and C, pose a significant threat as it can lead to chronic liver diseases and even liver cancer. If syphilis is left untreated, it can result in miscarriages, stillbirth, congenital abnormalities, and neonatal and infant deaths, among other complications. The goal of this campaign is to raise awareness, renew our commitment, and take collective action against these diseases. This, I believe, aligns with our shared vision of a healthier Nigeria where every individual, particularly women, youth, and children, can thrive and live healthier lives. This vision is in line with the Renewed Hope agenda on His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, which focuses on health as an essential pillar of development. Nigeria is at the pivotal stage in our fight against HIV/AIDS and is poised and ready to join other countries in Africa who have achieved the UNAIDS 95 target by 2030. The aim of this target is to see that 95% of the people who are living with HIV/AIDS know their status. 95% of those who are aware of their status are placed on life-saving antiretroviral treatment, and 95% of these people undergo treatment and achieve viral suppression, which means they cannot transmit the virus to others. We must deepen engagement with traditional and faith-based institutions to address cultural and religious influences on HIV prevention behaviors, especially those engaging in birth services, by expanding access to HIV testing services with comprehensive counseling, treatment, and care for all individuals who test positive. I want to commend the members of the Association of People Living with HIV/AIDS in Taraba for their testimonies. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder of resilience and hope, inspiring others living with HIV/AIDS to seek the support and treatment they deserve with courage and confidence. I thank all our health workers and National Agency for Control of AIDS, NACA, National AIDS and STDs Control Program, NASCAP, as well as research and public health institutions for their efforts in combating HIV, AIDS, syphilis, and hepatitis through the years, as well as our global partners helping us in this fight. I especially recognize WHO, UNAIDS, UNICEF, UNDP, PEPFAR, and Elizabeth Glacier Pediatric AIDS Foundation, amongst others. I'm mentioning all these international donors because they used to assist before Trump came into power. So, but I believe that it will see reason before long. But if not, Nigeria is stepping up, and our political will is very strong. So we thank God for that. We must intensify efforts to ensure that the global triple elimination target of HIV/AIDS, syphilis, and hepatitis is achieved by 2030. I believe with the concerted efforts of all our stakeholders present, especially our state first ladies, who will help disseminate this message in their various states, this deadline can be attained by the grace of God, and I rely on you all to do the needful. Also, the wives of our service chiefs, you have a lot of women across the nation, and I know you are working on that already, but we can intensify our efforts. To our dear children, and also market men and women, if you see pregnant women, get them tested. So it's very, very important. To our dear children and youth, this campaign cannot succeed without your involvement. You represent our future, our generation. However, your age group is one of the most vulnerable. Please take care and protect yourself. We have increased our advocacy in the media across all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, and we hope it resonates. So First Ladies, you know, it's like we are paying forward. I've already committed you. You have to do that in your state. You see what I'm doing in Abuja. Please, we want you to step up. It's very, very important and very crucial for this campaign.